are right now could be underwater by the end of this century. Shocking, right? Climate change is happening, and it's getting worse. I had my wake-up call when I was in Antarctica, early 2023. It was a perfectly sunny day, but all of a sudden, I heard the sound of thunder. Right in front of me, a massive chunk of an iceberg collapsed. It triggered a mini tsunami. The waves were even taller than me. Antarctica is hitting a record low in sea ice by a lot. It was day 5 of an Antarctic climate expedition led by pioneering woman marine biologist, Dr. Sylvia Earle. With a team of global experts from around the world, our role was to explore the role of ocean in mitigating climate change and building climate resilience. I was the only Hong Konger on board. I wanted to amplify the voice of Asia. Over 80% of world's fish farmers are located here, and we are suffering from more extreme weather events. As an ecotourism entrepreneur of FAIR, I have seen the effects hitting Hong Kong already. Yet, I also see the solutions. Living in Hong Kong, we don't see icebergs falling in front of our eyes. But climate change is here. And we're starting to see more warning signals. We used to assume we're safe in the 21st century high rises with the latest technologies and conveniences. But is Hong Kong really ready? And are you? Just in the last few months, we've seen super typhoons and severe flooding all around the world. Hong Kong has experienced the heaviest hourly rainfall since records started in 1884. As residents of a coastal city, we have the responsibility to understand how the power of water can make or break us. Hong Kong is, in fact, more vulnerable to climate change than many of us think. We check all the boxes for risk factors: coastal location, subtropical climate, and high landslide risks. The science tells us we're likely to see global temperature rise since pre-industrial level by 1.5 degrees Celsius as early as 2027. With the rising sea level, along with the powerful storm surges from typhoons, parts of Hong Kong could be completely flooded by 2100. Well, it's not all doom and gloom. We are cutting carbon. We are investing more in renewable energy and green tech. Equally, we need to start adapting to our changing climate. Many of us here have planted trees in the past. This is a traditional land-based climate solution. But the ocean and coastal ecosystems are even more powerful carbon storage tanks. The ocean alone absorbs 25% of our carbon emissions. It also stabilizes our land's average temperature to 15 degrees Celsius. Any guesses here how hot the planet would be without the ocean? Any hand signs? Well, it would be 50 degrees Celsius, almost twice as hot as today. As mentioned, I do a lot of eco-tours. So today, I would like to invite you all on my eco-tour to show how Hong Kong is harnessing the power of the ocean. Our first stop is the Kai Tak River. It used to be a dull concrete nulla. Isn't it gorgeous now? After the government completed the revitalization work, the river can withstand severe rainstorms and reduce flood risk to the neighboring roads. Greeneries by the riverbanks attract beautiful butterflies and birds, creating a thriving ecosystem. This is an example of blue-green infrastructure, where blue elements like the rivers, wetlands, and floodplains are integrated with the green elements like trees, forests, and parks. Together, these features are transforming Hong Kong into more like a sponge city, with spaces to absorb and purify rainwater and wastewater for reuse or discharge. Let us now cross the mountain range to the Zero Carbon building in Kowloon Bay. The name Zero Carbon is closely linked to the rooftop solar panels. What you're missing out here are these artificial wetlands and water harvesting and recycling systems. Rainwater drips off the rooftop into the artificial wetlands, where the plant roots help to filter and purify the rainwater and the wastewater. The filter water is then used to irrigate native plants on the site and flush the eco-toilets. It's great to see Hong Kong embracing different engineering solutions like the blue-green infrastructure. What about nature-based adaptation? The United Nations estimate only 1%, a mere 1% of total climate finance goes into nature-based solutions for adaptation. But these solutions can sometimes be cheaper and even more effective. So, let us follow the black-faced spoonbills to see this in action. We have now arrived at a world-famous destination and the spoonbill's habitat, Maipo and Inner Deep Bay, protected as wetlands of international importance. These wetlands are our natural defense. They protect our coastlines from erosion, and the wetland plant roots also help buffer us from higher sea level and higher waves. Protecting the wetlands protect us. This eco-tour hopefully has shown us how Hong Kong is progressing towards climate resilience. Yet, as seen from the recent severe flooding, there are clear gaps we need to work on to enhance our city's resilience. I, along with other climate advocates, have been calling for a more comprehensive climate adaptation strategy for the city. We need infrastructure that can withstand even higher sea levels. We need real-time disaster maps, and we need more nature-based solutions. While our city is actively adapting, what can an average citizen like you or I do? Let me suggest 3 actions for you as a starter. First, rebrand our ocean. Change the way we think of it. When it comes to the word sea, I used to think of the delicious seafood or our beautiful Victoria Harbour. We, as Hong Kongers, seem to be conditioned to view the ocean as a vast and limitless resource to extract from. It is way more than that. I hope after today, you will see our ocean as a living marine organism with a vibrant sea life that forms a vital part of our ecosystems. The ocean has the magical power to absorb our carbon, cool our summers, and buffer us from extreme conditions. Second, be smarter consumers. One of the resolutions we came up with from the Antarctic Climate Expedition is to preserve a very unique species called the krills. The krills are tiny shrimp-like species, super small, but they are vital as the foundation of food web in Antarctica. They are the major food source for penguins, seals, whales, and many other cute animals. They also move carbon from the surface to deep ocean through their excretion. However, due to warming oceans and overfishing, krill population has declined drastically by 80% since the 1970s. Why am I telling you this? Because what happens in Antarctica does not stay in Antarctica. If we want solutions, we should not be part of the problem, right? Unfortunately, krill oil is readily available in Hong Kong and Asia. You can easily see bottles of them in stores across your street. But algae oil is a more sustainable alternative, providing similar health benefits and even absorbs better in your body. Not only krills, we should avoid consuming other depleted fish stocks. Do reference sustainable seafood guides, such as that from WWF, when planning your next feast. We can all protect the ocean as our crucial carbon sink. Last but not least, we cannot miss out the people. They and we are the building blocks of community resilience. While the government can build plenty of infrastructure to protect us from climate disasters, how sea level rise impact local communities and what adaptive measures are more suitable for the locals is influenced by our lived experiences. Therefore, my final call to action is for all of us to humbly learn from our indigenous and coastal communities from their traditional knowledge, especially indigenous women who have been our nature's stewards for long. From my eco-tours, I have shown guests how Hakka villages from over 100 years ago in Hong Kong have come together to build bunds from natural materials, protecting their farmlands from seawater intrusion. Not only that, after typhoons, they would collaborate to replant the trees in their feng shui forest because they recognize the importance of them as their wind shelter. Let us bring this community spirit back to life in the 21st century cities. You can start by checking on your neighbors after a storm and sharing your real-time weather observations with crowdsourcing platforms. This can refine the big data analysis and refine our local climate models. Remember, what defines a resilient city is not only the tangible components like our infrastructure, but also the intangible elements like our community, our people, and our networks. The time has come for us to strengthen our friendship with the ocean. From as far as the Southern Ocean in Antarctica to as close to our dear Victoria Harbour. We need to respect and protect our ocean before her power as our guardian diminishes. Let's start reimagining the ocean as a living marine organism. Let's start being smarter consumers. And let's start learning and engaging more in our communities. Together, as city dwellers, we can turn the tide towards a climate-resilient future. Thank you.